Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Claiming that I never done a traditional karate, I do not understand the karate. Last week I had the pleasure talking to Tuari Dawson Sensei from a Invisible Sensei podcast, and one of the subjects we've talked about off the mic was his welcoming message and use of a Maori language. So I was gonna try if that's gonna catch up on my podcast and it's gonna sound as awesome as his, using a little bit of a Polish language. So I'm gonna say welcome in Polish. Witaj. It's another episode of Anxious Black Belt, podcast that focuses on karate and mental health and everything in between. In this episode, I would like to talk about a couple of comments I got on my recent clips, but I need to start from the kind of origin where those clips been formulated and created for. So a few weeks back, you probably listened to my conversation with awesome Don Kame Sensei. If you haven't, please listen to it. It's always nice to hear Sensei Don's thoughts about karate and life in general. We've been talking about positioning ourselves in the world of martial arts, in karate world, and who we want to attract towards our club and who we want to work with the club. And he pointed out that me advertising for beginners, adult beginners, it's a bit of a disservice to other groups of martial artists, and I should position myself more towards teaching people who maybe been doing 3K karate or maybe are tired of their club and doing the repetitions after black belt, doing basics all the time and being enrolled into teaching others as the tool of development. I don't mind that this is a great tool. If you're teaching, you learn more about yourself, but if you don't have any material to progress, it's a little bit of a boring task to do, because how long you can teach basics and doing line work in a club. At least this is my viewpoint. I like to do advanced stuff. I like sparring, I like throws, and so on. So those who know me know kind of my way of karate, and this is what I'm gonna be doing now. So we're gonna be focusing in the club more on attracting the advanced practitioners of karate, or people who have a background and got disillusioned or maybe bored of their club and their ways, and they would like to try something new. Of course, we welcome beginners at all times, but my advertising from September gonna be focused more on taking people who have already an experience and want to do more practical stuff instead of learning basics and walking in the Zenkutsu Dachi all day long with the Gyakutsuki. and those who want to have a bit deepen understanding of kata, including throws, joint locks, takedowns, and so on, and a little bit of ground escapes. I think this is much broader look at the karate, and I'm calling it a old school karate. But format we're doing is all around karate, so we're working through the all areas of stand up, clinch, takedowns, and ground escapes. We're not playing too much on the ground. I'm not a specialist in this, but we've got some protocols that we do escapes from the floor, which aligns with our karate ethos, where we want to be able to fight in a stand-up, but don't be overwhelmed on the floor. So I posted a couple of videos to do like a tester, see how people gonna react. I have to say that within a couple of hours, with over 1,000 views on couple of them, most of the people really enjoyed it, really liked it. So the video was a comparison of a line work and basics all the time, with all the people wearing black belts and going with the gyakutsukis, marching up down lines, no partner work and no sparring, versus our session where we had a sparrings, we done throws, takedown strikes, kicks, and so anyway, as all advertising, promoting my stuff, but not putting a bad light on anything else. So I understand that some people really like that format, and if you enjoy that, that's good for you. Karate got many faces. But if you're bored of that type of training, there are other ways you can try, and you are more than welcome in our club to come in without any political agenda, without grabbing you to join our club. You can just pop in, have a training with us. If you like it, you can stay. We welcome you. If you decide that it's not for you, as many before, you just move on and do whatever floats your boat. There is no ill feelings, there's no ego in our club, and we're just doing what we're doing and we're having fun. 90% of my club are people who are downgrades in other systems or are quite high on scale. So, they are first cues, third cues, joining our club and kind of going deeper into the karate techniques, karate kata applications, and testing themselves, doing a pressure testing. Got few people came from different styles who have not have any sparring for 2 years, and they're really enjoying that on a session. We all have a sparring. So I post those videos, and majority was overwhelmingly positive, but there's a couple of comment that stood out to me, claiming that I never done a traditional karate. I do not understand the karate. I never heard about makiwara. It's not just going in the lines. And if you stuck into that training, you understand the principles, then you're gonna know how to fight. I'm really sorry to break it into you that it's not gonna happen. This is a fantasy. If you do line work in the air without partner, you're gonna good at in a line work without a partner. If you do shadow boxing or katas, you're gonna get better in katas. If you don't practice it with your partner with various resistance and progressive training, it's not gonna work. If you're gonna try to spar because you think you've done 10,000 hours marching up the line with very long stances, you're gonna have a nasty surprise. And it is up to you, of course. You can try. I've got friends who do non-contact karate at all for meditation. We're doing that in my elderly club, and it's fine. This is if you know that that's what you want to do, that's fine. There's not a problem, not a single issue with it. Do whatever makes you happy, but don't push on me the idea that when you're gonna be doing katas in the air, never touch a person, you're gonna suddenly get enlightened, and you're gonna be an invincible fighter, because simply we know from combat sports, we know from a self-defense encounter that actually it doesn't work. And I've been there. I started my karate, maybe not in a very traditional dojo, but I've been training, and we done mostly a combinations in the air, and it took some time to adjust to actually be able to spar, and the things that I thought was gonna work, they didn't, because what you don't take in consideration is the movements of the other person. When you do the combinations, you assuming that everything went perfect. Every punch, every kick that follows, landing, and that's the job. Unfortunately, in the real life, real world, it doesn't work like that, because your partner gonna be trying to stop you and try to do exactly the same thing to you that you're trying to do to them. And if you are not used to that, then it's gonna be a surprise. But you know, it is what it is. So the the issue that I suppose, trying to say here is that urge of people from the traditional background to bring their religion to other people and do it in a way that is quite direct and rude, sometimes is very rude with the foul language. I don't fall in that category. I don't use that language when I'm speaking with people, even if I'm promoting my stuff. And maybe in some cases I know I'm right. I would never refer to a forcing person to understand what I want to spread in my message. I wouldn't use foul language. I wouldn't call people names or have a personal attack on them. But this is very common on the interwebs, and I think we have to stand up for it. So this is a part of that standing up, that through the podcast I can reach more people and explain that this is not the way that we do, especially that most of the traditional dojos promoting that ethos of a honor, diligence, and respectfulness, and unfortunately you see completely opposite on the interwebs. But in relations to a traditional karate, the gentleman who having a go at me on the TikTok specifically was saying I do not understand the traditional karate, and looking at his couple of videos that he actually got posted from his martial art. I think he's an older gentleman and used to be training, because most of his clips at the moment are some games with his face stuck behind it. Um, which is nothing wrong with it. You know, that's what he enjoys. That's great. But there's a couple of pictures, and it looks like he done either a Shotokan or one of the Japanese versions of karate. And here is the problem: the what is traditional for him, it is only a label that been given in 1930s, 1940s to promote the Japanese karate as, quote, air quotes here, traditional. Um, I like to use that name, that I'm not name but description, that I'm using a old school karate, where there have been throws, where there have been constant learning, where there have been exchanges between the teachers. We know from the history that masters would send the students to learn from the other master. And unfortunately, with the rise of Shotokan and kind of Japanese structure, it all went into protecting lineages instead of improving karate, which I don't agree with. I am in a very comfortable position that I can go and train with loads of different teachers, not only from my system and my teacher, but I can go to Goju Ryu, I can go to Shotokan, I've got friends in Kyokushin, I've got friends in Enshin Karate, I've got friends in Shukokai. So I've got a broad spectrum of people, and in the circles that I am, there are very well respected and well knowledgeable teachers. So if I've got any problem or ideas or something that I want to work on, I can reach out to those people and learn. So in approach, I am cultivating the real traditional karate approach, where we take what we need, we improve karate, we learn from masters the attributes that we need in the time in for our training. So, saying to people you don't understand traditional karate, it's kind of misconstrued it, because what they mean it's I don't understand the Japanese 1930s karate, and that's to the point, to certain point true. I never trained in Shotokan, uh, except couple of sessions with people, and sparring with people, doing katas with people from Shotokan. So yes, I don't understand a Japanese traditional karate. I understand methodologies, training practices, and sparring from a Kyokushin offshot group, so Japanese karate, but modern karate or modernized karate, I would call it, which led to evolution of kickboxing and hybrid trainings like Kudo, Shidokan, Shinaido, and many others, Ashihara karate, which is a type of karate that I enjoy the most. I like fast movements, powerful techniques, natural stances, not rigid and very low grounded. They are great for developing attributes like strength, flexibility, and coordination, but they are not suited, in my opinion, and for me, to the fighting that I want to achieve. But like I said before, karate got many faces, and if you do any type of karate or any type of martial art or any type of a sport, good on you. You are not sitting on a sofa and losing your health. You are doing something. You improving your mobility. You improving your coordination. You keeping your weight in check. You working on your cardio. That's all great. Just don't bring your religion to other people. We need to respect people's belief. And as I'm not going anywhere and preaching that my karate is the best, on all my seminars, courses, and workshops, I'm just demonstrating what I do, how I think, how we do our stuff. But you never heard me saying this is the best way and don't do your stuff. You do your stuff, build upon it to create your own version of karate. We not meant to be a carbon copies of our teachers, preserving the lineages. We meant to be making karate our own, your version of karate that works for you mentally, physically, and for health benefits. So I think that's what the old masters would want, and that's what we will be praised upon. And I'll be continuing this despite your comments on the social media. I don't take them personally; they really don't affect me at all. It gives me a chance to try to express my vision of karate more in the written form, and provides me with a topics to talk on my podcast. So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. I really appreciated all of your comments. So the positive ones, the negative ones are all good. It helps the algorithm on YouTube as well, and we can grow the base that I can express myself with my karate, and maybe improve some people's art. And thank you very much for one really positive comment that somebody spotted, that we're working with people with disabilities and different abilities, and it is important to include them on the videos. It might not look spectacular to average karate young person who is very fit, but thank you for noticing that they are being part of the team, and we're working with them, and we're helping them be the best version of themselves. And this is what it's all about. So thank you very much. It's really nice that some people spot that and write a what would you say it, and write the positive feedback on the things that usually we don't get the prize for. So last bit, so we've got a course, Karate for Mental Health toolbox is available through Karate for Mental Health CIC website, where you can learn a bit more about the awareness of mental health conditions in your dojo and how you can improve the well-being of your students and where to refer them and so on. So if you would like to explore that, there is a free PDF file down in descriptions up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.